Good evening. Welcome to the August 25th Lebanon City Council meeting. Our first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll move on to the roll call members. Madam Clerk, the roll, please.
Mike Kincaid.
Present.
Keith Campbell.
Here.
Sandra Jasnowski.
Absent.
John Copeland.
Absent.
Dick Robertson.
Here.
Sierra Messenger.
Present.
Rob Hawkins.
Here.
Okay, we don't have any minutes for this meeting, so we'll have them at our next meeting. Move on to old business. Nothing on my agenda. Anything from the council? Okay, new business then. First item up then will be ordinance 2025-27. This is council to consider a vacation of unimproved alley rights-of-way adjacent to 700 West Washington, or excuse me, 700 West Chicago Street. This is near the water treatment plant. This is on first reading. Kevin.
Thank you very much. Ordinance 2025-27 is an ordinance related to the vacation of public rights-of-way. And this comes to you from the Plan Commission meeting last week where it was docket number 25-32, where it received a 7-0 favorable recommendation and is forwarded to you for your consideration. So ordinance right-of-ways have to be vacated via ordinance. That's why it's before you. But it did require a recommendation from Plan Commission. We could share my screen here. What we are really talking about here, this is the Chicago Street Water Plant. I should back up a little bit. Spencer Portish and Dr. Bob Holden are here in the room as well. Spencer is the project manager with Lebanon Utilities. Mr. Holden is the engineer on the project. So if you have any technical related questions, they are here to assist as well. Back to the project at hand, though, this is the existing Chicago Street Water Treatment Plant that you see before you on the screen. And there is a plan in place to expand that water treatment plant. As you know, we're working on capacity adjustments throughout the system, capacity projects throughout the system, and this is one of those projects that will be expanding. So you can see the existing facility. If you look at the orange lines that are sort of underneath, those are the old platted rights-of-way. There were several rights-of-way that were platted for alleys and streets in this area that not sure if they were ever built. Certainly it's been a water treatment plant for a long time. This is the original plat. So the areas in question for this vacation ordinance are highlighted there in yellow. I have no idea why there's such an oddly shaped right-of-way on the south end of the project, but that's what was originally platted. Again, this is based off of the Wessler survey of the right-of-ways that actually exist out there. So this is what is being vacated. We need to vacate these so that they can really, what we are is cleaning up old rights-of-way that don't exist with any kind of marketable right-of-way. So we are vacating those so that the treatment plant is in compliance, and then the treatment plant can also be expanded. So we felt like while we're expanding the treatment plant, let's clean up some of these old land title issues and vacate these rights-of-way. So again, stop sharing the screen, but that's the vacation ordinance that is before you for the vacation of those certain rights-of-ways in the Klotz, Kersey, and Trowbridge addition.
Hey, Spencer, how old is our water treatment plant? 50s?
1950s.
So fixing something that should be done about 75 years ago?
It's not that it hasn't been upgraded over the years, but it's time for a significant upgrade, and it's time to clean up these land title issues.
Well, we haven't ever fixed the right-of-way issues with it was more of my point, but yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. With that, I'll have Rob read the ordinance, and then we'll have a public hearing as well.
Thank you, Mayor. Council Ordinance 2025-27 concerns an ordinance of this council to vacate public ways. Pursuant to Indiana Code, the city has the authority to vacate public right-of-ways and now finds that the public right-of-way identified in Exhibits A and B Attached here too is no longer needed for the Indiana law. This council finds it's proper and necessary to vacate the public right-of-way identified in Exhibits A and B. The conveyance of the real estate described in Exhibits A and B shall be to the City of Lebanon Utilities, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect in accordance with Indiana law.
Thank you, Rob. At this time, I'll open the public hearing on ordinance 2025-27. If you have any public comment, please come forward, state your name for the record, and keep comments to 3 minutes if possible. Seeing no sudden movement, I will close the public hearing on ordinance 2025-27. Any questions, comments from the council?
The only question I got, are we in a position where we need to move a little quicker on this and maybe go to second reading instead of wait another couple weeks or what?
I will defer to Spencer, but I'm not, any reason why we wouldn't go
No.
through the normal 2 readings?
Okay.
We're fine. Yeah, there's no timeline issue, so.
Okay.
Okay. With that, that ordinance has been read on first reading. We'll take that up at our next meeting, which will be September 8th at 7:15 PM. All right, next item, this is ordinance 2025-28. This is somewhat related. This is council to consider a rezone of 700 West Washington, or excuse me, you're saying that, 700 West Chicago Street. This is the water treatment plant as well. And this is ordinance on first reading. Kevin.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Ordinance 2025-28 is also coming to you from the Plan Commission from last week, where it was forwarded to you with a 7-0 favorable recommendation for the approval of this rezone, which planning staff feels as though is very appropriate because the property, although it's been a water treatment plant since the 50s, is still zoned residential. And so the request, again, to clean things up as we're beginning to expand this plant is to change that zoning classification from residential R4 to institutional zoning, which is the appropriate zoning for a water plant. So right now it is a legal non-conforming zoning, and this would just be bringing it into compliance. So again, Ordinance 2025 comes to you with a favorable recommendation from Plan Commission for the rezone of the property in question from residential to institutional.
Any questions on that from council? No, sir. Okay, Rob, may I read it, please?
Thank you, Mayor. Council Ordinance 2025-28 is an ordinance of this council rezoning property and amending the zoning map of the City of Lebanon. The petitioner of the City of Lebanon Utilities is the owner of the property. It seeks to have the property, which comprises approximately 1.9 acres and located at 700 West Chicago Street, more particularly described in Exhibits A and B, rezone from the residential 4 zoning classification to institutional zoning classification. The City of Lebanon Council has paid reasonable regard to the applicable comprehensive plans, current conditions, and the character of the current structures and uses in each district, the most desirable use for which the land in each district is adopted, and the conservation of property values throughout the jurisdiction. From and after this date, the official zoning map of the City of Lebanon shall be changed to rezone the subject property from R4 zoning classification to institutional zoning classification. The Director of Planning is authorized to change the official zoning map consistent with this ordinance.
Thank you, Rob. That ordinance has been read. Any public comment concerning ordinance 2025-28? Okay, and we'll take that up at our next meeting, which again will be September 8th at 7:15 PM. All right, next item up here, this is ordinance 2025-29. This is council to consider a vacation of right-of-way for portions of County Road 325 West and County Road 400 West for Project Domino. This is also on first reading. Kevin.
Thank you very much. Ordinance 2025-29, in the same vein as the first item on your agenda. This also comes to you with a 7-0 favorable recommendation from Plan Commission. So again, this is for the vacation of certain public ways, and these are associated with what we affectionately call Project Domino. If we can share the screen here. Oh, sorry. Share a screen here. Project Domino is located in the Leap District on what we call Site 18. It's approximately 1,500 acres that extends from roughly 275 west out to 450 west, or actually I think it's about 400 west, but it is in that Site 18 where it lies. So I guess to be clear, we're here tonight just to talk about the project's right-of-way vacations. We're not talking about the viability or zoning of the project itself. All that has already been decided. The item in question tonight is not anything else to do with the project other than the vacation of these rights-of-way. This is the site plan that was prepared by the site engineers, which is Olson Engineering. Pete Bozen with Olson Engineering is also in the room if you have any technical questions for him. But I show this slide so that you can get a feel for why the vacations are needed. What's perhaps a little hard to see here on the screen, this shows, if you can see my cursor, along the south side of the site is the new alignment of State Road 32. State Road 32 is scheduled for reconstruction by NDOT, a project that is scheduled to start possibly by late September with a first phase project. But the existing 32 alignment kind of goes through the middle of the site. And this site, this is kind of a phasing map that what you're looking at. Phase 1 is essentially the green area, and that is everything north of, not everything, but it's primarily located north of the existing State Road 32 alignment. And so this is the reason, the necessity associated with the vacation is that several of these projects, utility projects, power line extensions, substations, they would be bisecting these rights of way. There is an existing right-of-way that is 275 west along the east side of the site. The majority of their development is happening to the west of that. So this right-of-way is not up for consideration. In fact, it is their intention that they will never vacate that right-of-way. That right-of-way will remain intact. And in fact, our TAC committee is requiring, as part of the development plan approval, that that road will be widened and improved. So the project vacations in question, here we can look at this exhibit. Scale's a little large here, but you get, this is the same site that you saw on the previous map. You've got the creek to the north end of the site. You've got State Road 32 in its existing current form, bisecting the middle, relatively the middle of the site. And then you've got the proposed alignment for 32 along the south. So the vacations that they are proposing with this ordinance are just these vacations of 325 west and 400 west. So just those areas of 325 and 400 west that are north of the existing State Road 32. There are additional vacations south of 32 that will be before this body and before Plan Commission at a later date. But for right now, to start the phase 1 construction, the phase 1 earth movement and utility work, these vacations are necessary again, at 325 and 400 north of State Road 32. Sorry, every time I hover down that corner. This is that existing, there's the existing 250 west as it's labeled in this location that goes through the site that will remain in place. So there will be a north-south route through the site that will maintain traffic. Looking at the overall, so zooming out a little bit bigger here, the site in question is in yellow. The vacations before you tonight at 325 and 400 are in red. This 250 and 225 west is in blue, and that will stay as an open public street. And then you can see the other street networks, the other road networks that surround the site that will be left in place to maintain access to those properties to the north and to the north of the site. So with that, that is, in a nutshell, ordinance 2025-29, again, coming to you from Plan Commission with a favorable recommendation for the vacation of portions of 325 West and 400 West north of State Road 32.
Any questions for Kevin from council?
Yes. How many people are affected by the vacation of 400? I mean, houses to the north of that vacated part?
Yeah, you can begin to see that there are, on 400 West, it's from 32, I should have mentioned this, up to 200 North. There are homes along 200 North. For the most part, within their yellow property, though, the homes that are depicted there have either been acquired by the IEDC or are being acquired by the applicant themselves. But there are homes, I guess I couldn't necessarily venture a guess as to how many people are impacted by the vacation of 400. But as you can see, 500 West is an existing road that will remain. So is there an impact? Absolutely. They won't be able to drive south on 400. They will have to go, I guess, as far as a mile west to get to 500 West, where they will travel south.
And when I drove out there Sunday, anyway, one day, one house out there looks like it's being planned to be taken down out there
Yeah.
on 400 West.
And it's tough for me to know all the status of properties out there, and they're changing daily.
Yeah.
So I don't want to venture a guess, but to Mike's original question, are there impacts? Of course, there are impacts, but again, there will remain an open north-south route to the west and to the east of the site.
Right.
Any other questions or comments? No, sir. Okay, Rob, read the ordinance, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Council Ordinance 2025-29, again, is an ordinance of this council to vacate public ways. As Kevin indicated, the Plan Commission voted 7-0 to send a favorable recommendation of this council to vacate approximately 1,800 feet of assumed right-of-way associated with County Road 325 West between State Road 32 and Deer Creek, and approximately 5,200 feet of assumed right-of-way associated with County Road 400 West between State Road 32 and County Road 200 North. That's all described as the real estate described in Exhibits A and B. Pursuant to Indiana Code, this city council has authority to vacate public rights-of-ways and now finds that the public right-of-ways identified in Exhibits A and B is no longer needed for the benefit of the public. After a duly advertised and published public hearing pursuant to Indiana law, this council finds it's proper and necessary to vacate the public rights-of-ways identified in Exhibits A and B. The conveyance of the real estate described in Exhibits A and B shall be to Orla, LLC, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect in accordance with Indiana law.
Thank you, Rob. Is there any public comment concerning ordinance 2025-29? Oh, sorry, you're right. There is a public hearing on this. I apologize. So this time, then, I will open the public hearing on ordinance 2025-29. Any public comment, please come forward, state your name for the record, and keep comments to 3 minutes if possible. Seeing no sudden movement, I will close the public hearing on ordinance 2025-29. We'll take that up at our next meeting, which will be September 8th for second reading. All right, next item here will be ordinance 2025-30. This is an amendment to Chapter 76, our traffic schedule of our city ordinances. This is concerning Fordyce and Morningside and an always stop for pedestrian crossing. Kevin.
Yes, so as you might remember, we did something similar at the last meeting. So this is a similar action to add a all-way stop. I'm calling it all-way as opposed to four-way because one leg would be an entrance into the Centenary United Methodist Church. But this would be for an all-way stop at the intersection of Fordyce Road and Morningside Drive, the primary entrance into the Morningside neighborhood. And this really comes to you from a request that we've received from Primarily, it started at a request from the principal of the New Central Elementary School that immediately noticed problems on the first day of school with kids running across the road in places. And that's not a safe item that we want to ever see. We want kids to cross at designated areas. There was a lot of conversation between us and the school corporation about creating a mid-block crossing somewhere closer to the school. Ideally, though, those are not certainly not preferred pedestrian crossings. Anytime you cross people in the middle of a block where passing vehicular traffic may not be expecting them, that is inherently more dangerous than crossing at an intersection. So after working through this, looking at the surrounding neighborhoods where children are coming from, there's a lot of kids, as informed us by the school corporation, a lot of kids in the Cedar Ridge neighborhood. And so we felt if we could capture them so that they don't have to walk all the way to the pedestrian crossing, the crosswalk at John Barth, that this would be a good thing, so that we could create a three-way stop at the intersection of Morningside, so all of those kids that are coming from Cedar Ridge or the west side of the Morningside neighborhood would have another safe way to cross the street and eliminate the need for any kids running across what is a 3-lane cross section as you get up there in front of the school. So again, this is an amendment to our current city code, chapter 76, under traffic schedules, where we would be adding to that list of stop-controlled intersections, the intersection of Fordyce Road and Morningside Drive.
Any questions for Kevin on that? No, sir. Okay. This time then I'll have Rob read the ordinance, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Council Ordinance 2025-30 is an ordinance of this council concerning an amendment to Chapter 76 of the City Code defined as traffic schedules. This council has the jurisdiction over the public thoroughfares and streets within the corporate boundaries of the city, and it finds it's in the best interest of the public's health, safety, and welfare to amend Chapter 76 traffic schedules. As of the effective date of this ordinance, Chapter 76, Schedule 5, stop intersections of the City Code of Ordinance shall be amended to include the following. A, Fordyce Road and Morningside Drive as an always stop. The remaining portions of Chapter 76 of the City Code are not affected by this ordinance, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect in accordance with Indiana law.
Thank you, Rob. Any public comment concerning ordinance 2025-30? Okay, we'll take that up at our next meeting, which again, September 8th at 7:15 p.m. All right, next item up here, this is,
Can we go ahead and drop the, should we go ahead and drop the
Motion for a
rules and go ahead and
second
read
reading
this
on
to
this?
second reading?
yeah, we can, I mean,
Because this,
I don't have any objections to that. I mean, we weren't planning to put it up in the next week anyway. We want to do a campaign to make sure people know this is coming before we throw a new stop sign in front of them. But that would help expedite the process if you'd like to read this on second reading.
I mean, obviously, we're dealing with central school here, and we're dealing with the safety of the kids. Let's get this done as quickly as possible so that we have a safe crossing for them.
Thank you.
do that. All right, so then need a motion to suspend the rules on ordinance 2025-30. Again, it has to be unanimous to suspend the rules. So is there a motion to suspend the rules?
I'll make a motion, we suspend the ruals on ordinance 25-30.
Okay, we motion to suspend and a second from Rob. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that is unanimous. So we will move ordinance 2025-30 to second reading. Any further discussion, comments, concerns? Okay, we entertain a motion to approve ordinance 2025-30 then.
I'll make a motion, we'll go ahead and approve ordinance 2025-30, amendment to chapter 76.
Okay, motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Rob. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that is adopted. All right, thank you, council. All right, you guys ever want to do that, just let me know. We can. Yeah. Okay. All right, next up is resolution 2025-24. This is a resolution of the Common Council approving an order of the Lebanon Planning Commission regarding an amendment to the declaratory resolution for the Lebanon Consolidated Economic Development Area. Say that 5 times fast. Kevin.
I will not say that again. In the matter of Resolution 2025-24, this also comes to you with favorable recognition from the Plan Commission. I will let Rob get into the particulars here, but essentially this is changing the designated party. This is basically the developer associated with the New Cold project has created another LLC that will be responsible for the development of the project. And so we have to change, we have to amend the resolution to amend that designated party. And then I believe we're also picking up some additional, there's additional language related to personal property that's being added in with this amendment as well. With that, I'll leave it to Rob to better explain.
Yeah, Mayor, Council, Kevin's correct. So this is one step in the process for New Cold Phase 3. They've been to the Redevelopment Commission to set this up in stage, went to the Plan Commission. This is the council's resolution that I'll read the highlights. That's just approving what the Plan Commission did. And then we'll come before you at some point, presumably with the financing behind it. And that'll be at a couple steps later should this go forward. So we've done this a couple of different times with New Cold. Again, this is Phase 3. So I'll go ahead and hit the highlights of this resolution. 2025-24, again, is an amendment to the declaratory resolution for the Lebanon Consolidated Economic Development Area to designate certain designated taxpayer in the New Cold Phase 3 allocation area. On August 11, 2025, the Redevelopment Commission adopted its resolution 2025-04, which is defined as the amending declaratory resolution to designate New Cold USA 3 PropCo, LLC, that's defined as the company, along with any successors and assigns. Each is a designated taxpayer, and that's defined as a designated taxpayer with respect to the New Cold Phase 3 allocation area, and that's defined as a designated taxpayer amendment, as well as to modify the definition of property taxes under Indiana Code to include depreciable personal property. The Lebanon Plan Commission on August 18, 2025 adopted its order 2025-01, determining that the amending declaratory resolution and designated taxpayer amendment conform to the plan of development for the city in approving the amending declaratory resolution and designated taxpayer amendment. Indiana law requires approval of the order of the Plan Commission by this council. So therefore be it resolved, this council finds that the order of the Plan Commission determining that the amending declaratory resolution and designated taxpayer amendment conform to the plan of development for the city, and it's approved in all respects. The clerk treasurer is directed to file a copy of this order and the amending declaratory resolution within the minutes of this meeting, and this resolution shall be in full force and effect after its passage.
Thank you, Rob. Any discussion, comments, questions for Kevin from the council? No, sir. Okay. Any public comment concerning Resolution 2025-24? Okay. With that, we entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we approve Resolution 2025-24.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Dick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that is approved. Thank you, council. All right, next up, this is Resolution 2025-25. This is resolution of the Common Council approving certain matters in connection with the establishment of the Paddock Place Economic Development Area.
Thank you very much. Resolution 2025-25 is associated with the Paddock Place development, which is an apartment complex project that's located along the south side of County Road 300 North, just west of State Road 39. So this is an apartment, a market rate apartment complex that has a significant piece of public infrastructure associated with it, with public streets, public sewers, water mains going through the project. And so this is just that first step in setting up an economic development area, a TIF district, if you will, for the project.
Questions for Rob? Or sorry, questions for Kevin? I'll have Rob read it. All right, good, Rob.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, Council. Again, this resolution 2025-25 is in connection with the establishment of the Paddock Place Economic Development Area. Again, this is similar to what we did in the New Cold. It's one step in the phase. The Redevelopment Commission adopted its resolution 2025-05, the declaratory resolution, which approved an economic development plan for the Paddock Place Economic Development Area, that's defined as the area, and it declared the area to be an economic development area under Indiana law and designated the area as an allocation area in accordance with Section 39 of the Act. The Lebanon Plan Commission on August 18, 2025 adopted its order 2025-02, determining that the declaratory resolution and the plan conform to the plan of development of the city and approving the declaratory resolution and the plan. The Redevelopment Commission has submitted the order, the declaratory resolution, and the plan to this council. The Indiana law requires approval of the order and the determination that the area is in an economic development area by the council. This council finds that the order of the Plan Commission determining that the plan and the declaratory resolution conform to the plan of the development for the city and is approved in all respects. This council approves the determination that the area is an economic development area pursuant to Section 41 of the Act. The Clerk Treasurer is directed to file a copy of this order, the declaratory resolution, and the plan with the minutes of this meeting, and this resolution shall be in full force and effect after its passage.
Thank you, Rob. Any further questions, comments, concerns? Any public comment concerning resolution 2025-25? Okay. With that, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution 2025-25.
I'll second that.
Motion to approve in a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Thank you, council. Okay, that concludes what I have for new business. Anything from the council? Okay, we'll move on to claims. So entertain a motion concerning the claims.
Make a motion, we pay the.
Sierra thinks we should pay our bills. Is there a second? Second from Dick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Claims are approved. All right, any announcements or discussion? Okay, with that, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, again, didn't hear me before. Our next meeting will be September 8th at 7:15 p.m. We are adjourned.